Hi everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new to my craft room, then welcome. Today I'm doing one of my favorite things. We're going to decoupage this vase here. You can find all kinds of pretty vase at Dollar Tree. It doesn't have to be this one, whichever one you happen to prefer. But I like this one. It's a nice big size, and we're going to decorate this one up for spring, Easter, take you through to summer, put it that way. So, or you probably could use this right through summer. But anyway, I found these pretty napkins at Dollar Tree, and I thought these would be perfect to do this vase with. So we're going to try those out, and then I'm going to make a couple little picks here of things. We're going to use one of these little wooden bunnies, and we're going to put some eggs and things on that to make a cute little pick on the top for Easter. And then after Easter, you just take out your little picks, and you can keep this up, you know, all spring. And then they have the cute little carrots, too. I forget how many of these are in a pack. I don't have, what did I do with it? I believe there are 14. So these are a great deal at Dollar Tree if you can find these. There's like 14 of these each in a pack. So anyway, I got those, and then first thing we're going to do is fill in this little hole here. You can either use the spackling, the lightweight spackle that you can get at Dollar Tree, or you can use wood filler. I prefer wood filler, but if you don't have that, you know, you can use the spacklings just fine too. I'm just, you know, more used to using wood filler on wood. And you just need a little teeny weeny bit and just shove it in that hole. I mean, I got way too much on my finger even. But we just shove that in there, and then we're going to let that dry just like that. And then we'll just take a little piece of sandpaper, sand that off so it's nice and even. And then we're going to paint him white. So I figured I'd get that in there first so that can dry and get all our painting done. And while our paint's drying, then we can go ahead and cut out our images from the napkins. So the first thing I'm going to do is get this wood filler off my fingers. There we go. Let me get some of this paint here. I should have had this poured out already. First thing I'm going to do is paint this vase. Now you're going to want to go ahead and either, you know, wash this really good, spray it down with some Windex, or wipe it off with some rubbing alcohol or something, just to make sure you have all the oils and whatever might be on it. And I'm going to use the white Adirondack chalk paint, folk art chalk paint. Depends on what napkin you're using. If you're not using this one, depends on the background of your napkin. I always like to try to use the same color as what the background is. Sometimes they're more of an off-white. Alright, that's good enough to get started here. Or, you know, sometimes they're off-white, the napkins, or grays, or whatever. But it just makes the napkin, you know, really pop out nice if you put the same color background on there. And I just got paint on my pants. Alright, we'll worry about that later. Alright, so I'm going to use one of these sponge brushes. You can get these at Dollar Tree. They usually come in a 3-pack. And then I'm going to also use this smaller one because we're going to do a little pink or something. Probably pink around the edge when this is all done. So all I do on these is just, well, actually you can just kind of like smear this all around just to get it covered up well, and then I just like to go back over it and pat it, because then it gives you that really nice little textured look. Which it dries, it's not quite as even textured as what it looks like now, but you can really just kind of smear this stuff on here really quick. I used to always try to make it look so neat and professional when I was doing it, but you know what? This is how I do it. I just smear on the paint, quick and easy, and then just go back over it and pat it, and it gives it that nice little texture look. I'm going to do this twice. Now the second coat, I'm not going to smear it on there because I don't want to take the chance of ruining the first coat, but I will just go over it like this and just pat it on top of this first coat. But it takes no time at all to get this first coat on here. And you can just pat it on if you don't want to smear it on messy looking like I just did. Whoa, that really came out a lot. But it is very quick to do, so let me just finish this up real quick with my first coat. And there you go. That's all you're going to do for this vase. And then usually after I get all the 2 coats done on the S, then I'll just, go on the bottom and just give that a coat. And then when we're all finished with this, after we get our decoupage image on here and everything, I am going to go over top of it with some of the dishwasher safe Mod Podge. That way if you want to put real flowers in here or something, you can just, wash that. I wouldn't put it in a dishwasher, but it says it's dishwasher safe. I have not ever had the courage to put one of mine in the dishwasher to find out, but it does have a long cure time though, the dishwasher safe Mod Podge. I believe it's like 28 days before it's really cured to be dishwasher safe. But if you make your vase now and you'll have it all the way through spring, you won't have to worry about washing it out until then. So then that should be nice and cured. Now of this top piece, I'm not going to go over this top piece too much and worry about it because I'm going to actually do that top with that pink pink trim on the top. Alright, and that is it. That is all it takes to get your vase painted. So I'm going to let this dry now. Make sure I got all my swirlies out of there. Alright, so while that's drying, I'm going to set this aside here until it's ready for its second coat. Stick this in some water. Alright, and now let us see, what am I going to do here? I'm going to take these little eggs and the little carrot here, which I used in one of my projects the other day. These are so stinking cute. I love these things. I'm just going to use, this is some orange. This is Craft Smart chalky paint, it's called. This is called Burnt Orange. I'm going to use that for the carrot color. Nothing to these. Just easy peasy stuff. I love easy peasy projects. We're just going to paint that orange. And I'm not going to worry about painting the back of this one because this I'm going to have in the center of my bunny, so you're not going to see the back of this at all. So we're going to paint that orange. And I'm going to use some of this Summer Porch Home Decor Chalk Paint and the Prominent Pink, which is my favorite pink, for the Easter eggs. So let me grab a couple more little brushes here. And I'm not even pouring this paint out because I only need such a tiny, tiny bit of it, and I don't have much of this pink left, but got plenty for this project. So I'm just going to paint this little egg pink, and I think I only need 1 coat on here. This stuff covers really well, but this is getting very old, and I'm kind of running out of it. But I did find another one. I think I did find yes I did. I did get another one at Hobby Lobby. So, but I'm going to try to use this one up first. So I am going to go ahead and, not the whole thing, you're not going to see the whole back of it, but you're going to see some of it. So I am going to put a light coat of this pink on the back too of the eggs, because they're kind of going to hang off the edge of that little bunny when we're done. And I'll just stand this up back here to dry. Alright, there we go. And then this one we'll do in yellow. What did I say that was called? Summer Porch. I'm just so excited to be making crafts now, looking forward to spring. Summer, not as much. I love spring. I love fall, and I love Christmas time. Summer, it depends. Last summer, it was not a nice summer. It was either so hot you couldn't stand it, or it was cloudy and rainy. There was like no in between last summer for us here. So I'm going to do both sides of this one. And then I'm going to stand that one back here and let that one dry. There we go. And then for the top of my carrot, I'm just going to use this Sage Shadow, it's called. I love this color. I just got this one too at Hobby Lobby the other day. They're $1.99, but sometimes you can find these on sale there. Not very often, not for me anyway. Every time I go, I always go the wrong week. I wanted to get some paper stuff, and of course every other week they say that stuff's on sale, and of course I went the wrong week, but it's okay. Alright. It might be a little bit too light of a green for this, but I think that's good. Alright, so I'm just going to give that one coat, because like I said, that one you're not going to see from the back. Alright, so now while all this stuff is drying is when you're going to want to go ahead and start cutting out your images. Now I took one of these apart already, and I kind of ripped it in half, not very well. But then you're going to want to take your 2-plies apart. This is a 2-ply napkin from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to take that apart, and I always save this to clean up little messes here or whatever. And then I've been using these little glass cutting boards that they have at Dollar Tree. It's much easier than dragging out my big glass mat that I have. But all you're going to do is take this, this is kind of going to be in my way here. Let me move this back a little bit. And then take your water pen or just a regular paint, fine tip paintbrush, dip it in some water, trace out your edges or whatever. And then I just cut out pieces in here because the way this vase is shaped, if you try to put on one solid piece, you're really going to get some wrinkles because there's just no way to get it around all these little curves and things. So what I did was I just take my little water pen, I'm not using this one actually, and then just put some water around what you want to do. Make sure your image is covered that you're going to use, because if you can see it underneath your finger, you're going to rip it up. And then it kind of comes out like a jagged edge like that. And that is all I did to cut out all these images. Just go around with some water, and I actually just made them into pieces that we're going to put on here. I tried to keep it together here so they kind of go back together the way they were. But that's kind of how they look, with the little jagged edges. And the reason I like to do it this way, for anybody who hasn't seen me do it before, is if you cut them out with scissors and you decoupage it on, you're going to see that straight edge when you're done. But if you do it like this, with the little jagged edges, it blends right into the paint, and you don't even see, that it was a cutout image. It just looks like something painted on glass. So that is my reason for that, and that is how I cut out all my images for my decoupage projects. So I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to let this stuff all dry. I'm going to give that a second coat, and then we'll come back and start putting on our flower pieces. Alright guys, everything's nice and dry here. I did do the 2 coats on this side. I did try to do the one larger piece, which did not work out too good, so I did cut them down to smaller pieces because it's just having a hard time with all these curves on this vase to get this to lay nicely. And this kind of has a wrinkle in it before I even get started, but I think this is going to look real pretty on here, so I'm just going to take some of my Mod Podge and start laying down the image. You guys know I don't usually put Mod Podge down first to try to get these to lay nice, because they're so thin it just goes right through. You really don't need to, and then it's really difficult if you get it in a spot where you really want to move it or whatever. You can't. See, this has a wrinkle in it before I even start. I think it'll lay out pretty. Now sometimes they look real wrinkly until they dry, and then it'll lay down much better. Yeah, see that big crease in there? That was in the napkin. But I think it'll be alright. There we go. I don't want this too much over the edge here because it's kind of going to be a pain. But I'll just lay this thing upside down to dry, and then I can just trim off the excess on the bottom. I haven't worked with these Dollar Tree napkins before, so we'll see. They seem to be holding up pretty good here while I'm trying to get some of these little wrinkles out. I know some people say they like to use saran wrap to get out the wrinkles. I've never had any luck with that, but if that works for you guys, that's great. I don't mind a little bit of wrinkling, as long as it's not like a really awful bunch of wrinkles in here. Alright, so we're going to put that there, and now let's see. Was it this piece that fit in on the other side? I don't know, I kind of got these messed up now. No, that's not the one. Well, we can go this way. We're just going to piece this together, and where we actually need some more, we'll just fill it in. But I don't remember where this piece goes now. It's not on this side. Alright, well, we're going to piece this together. Yes, we are. Going to put this one here, and then we'll fill it in with some other flowers where we have a bare spot. I'm hoping that'll wrap around here pretty good. I don't want it to go up over the other one. There, I think that'll work. Alright, so we're going to start over on this side here to get those to match up. Right down there on the bottom. And then work my way around. There we go. Like I said, some of these little wrinkles here, you'll see when it dries that they kind of work themselves down. I try to tap some of them down here. And if a saran wrap trick works for you guys, I know a lot of people do that to get the wrinkles out. I just never had any luck with it. I end up tearing my napkin. Alright, so now I'm going to get this one up here. And then this space in here we're just going to fill in, we'll just cut out a few more flowers and fill that in there. I think this is going to be really pretty. I actually have one of these little green ones here that I can probably tuck in with this one. Make it blend in there. Go. And then I just need a little something in there yet. Alright, let's see, let me grab my other napkin here that I had and see what kind of little thing we can put down in there. Maybe another one of these little blue flowers would fit. I'm just going to try to rip these out. Sometimes that works, sometimes I make a mess. Alright, that worked out. So now I'm thinking if we can get it to this pink here and bring it down to other blue one, I think that would blend in just fine. Yep, look at that. And there we go. That spot's all filled in. Just perfect. Alright, so I'm also going to put some more up in here. This piece here, I don't remember where I cut this from to match up with any of my other images. That's so weird. Let me look on here. I guess these were on the end. Alright, it just kind of went in with this one. Oh, we can put this here. I think that'll work out okay if we go this way with that yellow flower. And then we're just going to fill all of that in too, wherever we have some empty spaces. Alright, you go over there where you belong. working on a curve like this, it's kind of difficult when you're trying to take a flat napkin and make it curve. So the smaller you can get your napkin pieces, actually ones with smaller images are much easier to work with. But I wanted to use these big flowers on this big vase because I think it's going to look great. Alright, so now I just need to cut out a few more of these images, and I'm going to let that dry and see how it looks, because it kind of bubbles up on you a little bit while it's drying. But you can see this one's starting to flatten out now because it's starting to dry. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out a few more of these. I need something big to go in here, and then I need to fill in my spot here, but I'm going to have to cut out another section of this to finish this up. So let's see, I'm just trying to, let me sit you over here so I can see. I think I'm just going to cut out this piece down here for the bottom, right here, and I'm going to try and tear this one out. I would have been better off using my water pen because this is kind of a pain. But I think that'll be perfect down there on the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this one down here on the bottom, just rip out a few more of these flowers to fill in up here, and then I'll come back and show you guys what I did. Alright, I got most of this filled in here. I just cut out a bunch of little pieces like this just to fill in, and there was one spot here, I think it's right here. I'm just going to add this one in here. Let's see. Best way that's going to match up here with some of these flowers. I think that'll work right there. That's all you gotta do is just take a few little pieces and just try to match them up best you can. Alright, and I think that is all I'm going to put on this thing. And I think that's going to look lovely when it dries. This side's really wet yet, but this side's starting to dry a little bit. Make sure all my things are pushed down. Alright, so we're going to set that aside and let that finish drying. And the other thing you're going to want to do if you're doing like a gloss Mod Podge is just all the areas you did not put anything on, just, you know, cover it up with a little gloss. I am going to put the dishwasher safe Mod Podge over top of this. I don't like using it on the napkins because I've had a real problem with that dishwasher safe Mod Podge making the ink run on the napkins. So I like to do it with just regular Mod Podge first. You can use matte, you can use gloss, whatever you want, because you're going to go over top of it. So we're going to leave that sit. And now we're going to make some little goodies that go in this vase. Alright, let me move this out of the way. Actually, let me fold this in half. My desk is a mess, but I figured I will wait until I'm done doing all this today to put a clean one on here. And I'm going to rip this up here. There we go. And that's actually what I use these for, is I rip them all up and use them for all my painting and stuff. So, we're going to take our little bunny here. Oh, I got some Mod Podge on him. You could put Mod Podge on these too if you wanted to make, make them nice and shiny. For his little eyes, I'm just going to use a Sharpie here. I'm not going to do anything fancy with these little guys. We're just going to add a little sleepy eye here and the mouth. Oops. You know, and you can throw in a few little whiskers off his nose here if you want to. Just anything with these little guys. This is just going to be a fun little decoration to put in there. Oh, I really messed up his mouth, didn't I? That's not a very straight line at all. Well, then if you want, you could add a little pink to his nose, which we might just do. Where did I put my pink? I have everything everywhere right now. Here it is. Take just a little bit of this prominent pink color. I'm going to put a little pink on her nose, or his nose, whatever. Sticking a little pink on his nose, and then maybe a little bit up in the ears. There. I don't know if I want to do both ears. I might just define this a little bit, because, you know, the one ear is in the back, so we're just going to color in that one. Because you could do both if you want, but that ear, to me, in my head, it's facing the other way, so I'm not going to do it. Alright, anyway, on the little carrot here, like I did for my other project the other day, I'm just going to add a few little lines to this, just to define it as a carrot. There's a few little lines on down the side, and then kind of in between in the center. And that kind of gives it that little carrot look. And then just up here on the leaves, and that's all I'm going to do for that. Easy peasy. Now I do really need to plug in my glue gun, don't I? But I did decide I want to add a few more little pretty things to it. So I'm going to make a few of these little skewers here. These you can get at Dollar Tree too. They're just the bamboo skewers. And I like to make little picks with these using the vase filler that they have out now for Easter. Let me set these guys over here until this little bunny ear dries and my glue gun heats up. But these are fun to do. Just grab a bunch of different colored ones. Purples, and they're different sizes, which is cool. Actually, I just dumped some of these out here. And then I just kind of start out with one of the bigger ones. And just stick that down here. Yeah, maybe a big yellow one too. Try to get it in the center. I don't always get them in the center, but it really doesn't make that much difference. And then we'll go with a few smaller ones. Pink one. Ugh, that's definitely not in the center. There we go. See, that one I didn't have in the center and I messed it up. I'm going to have to replace that one now. Well, dump these out. There we go. Don't run away, guys. Alright, let me try it this way. That's better. And the yellow one. And you could add a little glue to these too if you want to. Let's see, maybe I'll just put a pretty pink one on the top. Now this one I'm not going to go all the way through with, and then I'm going to push these back up. And that's just a cute little, you know, pick to have sticking out of your flowers. So I'm going to make a couple of these. I'll do the other ones off screen here so it doesn't take so long, but that's pretty much it. Just kind of make sure you're jabbing them in the center there. And believe me, you can do these really fast once you get the hang of it. Let's do a yellow one. And then maybe we'll put a tiny pink one on the top of this one. And that's that. That's just how easy it is to make these. And they look really cute sticking out with the flowers. And you can make a bunch of these out of one of the bags of the vase filler. So yeah, so these look really cute. Just stick them down in your flower arrangements, and then you can pull them back out after Easter, and there you go. Alright, so I'm going to finish that up. I'm going to make a couple more of these. But I just want to... Hey, get back here. Stop, stop, stop. They're going everywhere. I should have put them in a bowl. I don't know what I was thinking. Alright, anyway, for our little bunny here, I'm not going to do anything else special with this guy, except I'm going to glue these things on the front here. So I'm going to have my carrot going up this way. And then you don't have to worry about the bottom too much because that's going to be sitting in the flowers. And then we're going to put on our pink one. Now that's why I did these on both sides, because you're going to see part of it from the other side. So we're just going to put one little egg there, one little egg over here, like so. And that will be our little center pick. And we're just going to glue it to one. I don't know how tall I want it to be yet, so I'm not going to cut this or anything. But I am just going to put a bunch of glue on here. Let me get a piece of tape to hold it in place while it's drying. I'm just going to glue this little guy down real good. And that will be our pick. Oh look, I have a bee stuck on my tape. Alright. Alright, that'll hold that in place until that hot glue dries. But there we go. Isn't that cute? Alright, so that'll be our center pick, and then we're going to have our other little pretty little picks to go with that. Let me set that aside to dry. Alright, so the only thing I have left to do, I have to go dig out some flowers, wait for this to dry, and then add my pink. Actually, I can do that right now because the top of it's pretty dry. I'm just going to take some of this prominent pink and my little sponge brush, which I did what with? I had it right here. Where'd you go? Here you are. These things are getting away from me. I gotta get a bowl to put these in to work with. That's crazy. But just take a little bit of the pink. I'm not even gonna put this in a bowl because I'm not gonna need much of this at all. And just tap it around the edge. And that just gives the top a nice finished look. Alright, let me shake this one more time. I don't have much in this bottle. Hopefully it got a little bit more down there. Oh, there we go. And that's it. You're just going to go around the top of it with a little sponge brush. Just push straight down on the top. And it'll make a nice finished edge for you. There you go. So I think that will look really pretty. And then I did find some ribbon. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet. That I got at Dollar Tree. This one has the flowers on it, like the vase. I may want to find something a little different. I don't know what else I have, but that's what I was thinking of using. I'm just going to make a nice bow up here. Okay, so as soon as all this stuff dries, I'm going to grab some flowers and get them together here so we can add the flowers, our little picks, throw in a bow, and we will be done. Alright, it's all nice and dry now. I think it laid down pretty nicely. Like I said, Dollar Tree napkins are not the best quality, but it turned out pretty good, I think. Now I just got to figure out which side I'm going to have facing forward because I want to add a bow to this. I'm thinking maybe like right this side. I don't know. I think that looks good. But I grabbed a bunch of flowers. These I had left over from last year from Dollar Tree. You can get flowers anywhere anymore, you know, since they raised the prices. You can probably get a better deal, maybe like at Walmart or something, if you want to find some inexpensive flowers. But, you know, whatever flowers you want to put in here, that's up to you. So I did decide on using this sheer bow instead of the pattern one. The pattern one did not look right with all that's, you know, going on the base. And I still need to put my other coat on here, but I can do that later. You can put the dishwasher safe Mod Podge on or not, depending on what you're going to do with it. If you're just going to use fake flowers, it's not necessary. You can still wipe it down and dust it off. But anyway, I decided on this sheer pink ribbon. You know, they have all kinds of pretty ribbons at Dollar Tree or lots of other places. So depending on the vase you use, I just cut a piece and I'm going to fold it in half here. I'm going to get my little finger protector because this is sheer. So I want this to be my front, so I'm going to hook this. Well, actually, I can hook this in the front because I'm going to put a bow on it. But that actually might look better if I do it on the front, because you're really not going to see under here anyway. And I didn't have enough of this ribbon to make a nice big bow with it, so I'm just going to make one of my little cheater bows, if I can get my fingers to work here. But I'm just going to glue this on here. Maybe I will glue it to the back. I don't know what I'm doing here. I keep changing my mind. And I don't want to use a lot of glue on here because I do want to, you know, change this up maybe for, you know, summer or whatever. You could use this pretty much all year round. All right, so I'm just going to get back here. Oh, things are not working out for me, my clumsy old fingers here today. All right, so I just want to put a little glue here just to hold this in. All right, get my little finger protector there, and then I can match that up a little bit better. This is that wired ribbon too, so you know, you can bend that around however you choose. I just don't think my bow is going to cover it the way I'm making it here. I wish I had a whole roll of this ribbon, because I would have just pulled it around, tied it to a nice big bow with some tails maybe, but I just didn't have enough of it. And that other ribbon, like I said, it just did not look nice at all. Alright. Try to match that up there. Alright, so I think I want my bow right here. I probably would have been better off doing that crease in the front. Anyway, when I do find a different ribbon that I want to use, I'm going to change this up, I think, because it's not exactly the bow I wanted on here. Alright, so to make my little bow here, I'm just going to take a piece of ribbon. This is probably about 14 inches long. Depending, like I said, depends on which vase you use. I can't give exact measurements. I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm just going to glue each end down to the center here. What did I do with my little finger protector? Here you are. Just going to glue that to the center on that side, and then pull this one over and glue that one down. And I probably just glued it to my table, but that's it. I'm just going to glue it down to the center, just like that. And then I took another little piece here that I'm going to fold in half, and we are just going to wrap that around the, actually I'm going to fold it in thirds, I think. And I'm just going to wrap that around the center of this bow when I get it all said and done here. Yeah, I'm just going to bunch it up a little bit like that. Let me see where the center looks here. Yeah, I really wish I would have had more of this ribbon. And I could have made a big pretty bow, but this will do with what, or work with what I have, I guess, here today. Alright, let's try this again. Just kind of cording it there in the center. And then I'm going to, if this is going to cooperate here with me today, there we go. Yeah, this is kind of a pain, but I wanted to get this done, and I didn't want to run out to get more ribbon today because I just don't have the time. But I'm sure you guys will have lots of ribbon. You can make a beautiful bow. Oh, man. There. Hopefully I got that right now. Alright. And now we're just going to puff up our pretty little bow here. My fingers are not cooperating with me today whatsoever. Oh, it's windy outside. I don't know if you guys can even hear that, but it is just howling out here today. It's crazy windy, but at least the sun is out. Alright, that is going to be my little bow here for now. Yeah, that would not have covered up the whole thing on the back, but I think that'll be fine. You could even put something in the center of it too if you wanted to, like a little Easter egg or something. Alright, so let's get this little baby on here. Actually, I may do that too, because I think that'll look cute with a little Easter egg on here. And then you can just puff up your little bows. I think that's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That will serve the purpose here because the flowers are going to be the main event, and nobody will know how horribly I did this bow. But I think it came out okay. Now I just grabbed a whole bunch of flowers. Nothing, no rhyme or reason to this whatsoever, just all the spring flowers from last year. Like I said, you can use whatever. I did find one of these grasses. That's one thing I wish Dollar Tree would come out with, is more greenery. But you just need to like work your flowers around, not pull them apart. I'm doing good here today, huh guys? My little hyacinth just fell off. And just, you know, switch them up here. I'm going to get some of these little guys out in the front. And I did bend all the bottoms of these over because they were just a little bit too tall. I just have a little bit of everything mixed in here. Because I have not I don't think I've gotten any spring flowers yet for this year. But you know, it's early yet. I'm going to get some of these going the other way here, over there. There we go. That one just does not want to stay on here. It's the second time that one's fallen off. I will put that one back on after I get it in the vase. But I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to stick that in there for now. I'm going to raise my camera up here because you guys are not going to be able to see the pretties on the top. And then just bend a lot of these out. Mix them up. You can't go wrong with a bunch of pretty flowers. That's all I can tell you. Alright, let me raise this up here because I know we're not going to be able to see this. Hopefully I can even get this up high enough. Hang on. Alright. There we go. Look at that. It does go up high enough. Alright, so now I'm just going to take my cute little bunny here and we're just going to stick her right down in the center of all these flowers. Mess around with it here till I get it in the spot I want her in. Oop, that's crooked. I probably should have put her right in the center of these flowers before I put them in here. But we'll get her in there. There. So there's our little bunny sticking out of the top, and then we can just add a few of these around. And you could paint your the little skewers too if you'd want to, but you're really not going to see them that much. Just take a few of those, stick those around. You'll have one at the front here. Whoops. There we go. Oh man. Not my day for doing this. Alright, there we go. Alright, you know, other people would edit out all their boo-boos, but you know what? That stuff happens. Alright, and then maybe, actually, you know what? I want to change this up and put him right in front of the bunny here. Just a few of these, and then I have one more here that I can stick towards the back, to the other side. And if you want to paint your bunny on the other side too, you could. You know, if you're going to have this like in the center of a table or something. But that is that. So this little guy here is done. I'm not going to do another thing to it, but I will set this up so I can get a nice picture of the whole thing instead of just seeing half. And I will put that at the end. But thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I will see you guys all next time. Have a great day, everyone.